arm.
It's fine, man. It'll work better.
Well, guys, we are back with Game 2 between the sides of Espada and NoPangolier. Game 1 didn't go the way we thought it was going to go.
Definitely not. That Broodmother did not have as much of a good game as we anticipated, did she? That usually happens when there's a lich on your lane, kind of denying your creeps and messing with you, right?
I think there's an argument for the Disruptor pick. It's a good idea, but they didn't seem to... I don't want to say it was a lack of good teamwork, but there was communication issues. We can see that in some of the moves.
Misha, yeah, there were some, like some of those movements were not on point, definitely. However, I think they are just planning on making Disruptor buffed, you know, so they pick him.
Oh, so they prove that he's not good enough, and then they just basically go, okay, I'll buff the hero in 7.2.
And basically, then you go to Twitter at IceFrog, please, Mr. IceFrog, buff this hero, you know, and that's it. So we can
backfire though. Well, remember yesterday we had Bone 7 playing fantastically on Puck, and then
he still lost.
Yeah.
So these heroes, even if you
he
play,
made it look strong. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. You make it look strong and you still lose. Feels bad actually. Feels bad for those heroes. However, look at this. We have Ascent again with the Dark Willow this time though. You love that combo, don't you?
I mean, you know, I'm more of a fan of the Rubik one now. We've seen it plenty enough, but notice the difference here. Espada take the Weaver, NoPangolier take the Centaur. Oh, and there's an Earthshaker coming out. You know me, my favorite hero to see. Very popular currently in the meta.
Yeah, it's really strong right now with the Blink plus Diagonals build up. This guy can do so much. It's just one of the strongest heroes right now in the game. Plus the lane Weaver plus Shaker is not half bad at all because you can always fissure block, you can always harass with the Weaver, so if they decide to run it like that, if they decide to run the Weaver plus Shaker lane, they shouldn't be very, like, they should do fairly well versus anything. The most likely the lane is going to be Wyvern plus Terrorblade up against them, and well, it's not the easiest lane, to be honest, for Weaver and Shaker because of the high armor on TB. He doesn't really suffer that much. And the Wyvern can kind of trade hits, but it shouldn't be too problematic either. On the other hand, Centaur plus Dark Willow, Crystal Maiden is out of position a little bit. That can be one dead Maiden actually.
Let's be totally honest. That's Crystal Maiden 101 if you're out of position a little bit. Regardless of what you're up against, you're probably dead.
Yeah, you always have that Crystal Nova though to slow them down, to mess with them. It's all about this. Second. Alright, so Ember again. This time I hope it's going to be the mid-Ember though, right? Because
this time I hope the build at least is not going to be too greedy.
They want to prove us wrong. They want to do the Radiance versus Terrorblade
again.
The
Disruptor was the problem, not the Ember, I swear. We can still build Radiant Shivas and win our games.
I mean, actually in that last game, the Treant did so much versus the Ember. You honestly don't see Ember Spirit struggle so much versus anyone. And that Treant, he caught him out so many times, even without the blink, even without a repositioning tool. He was always there on point to root that Ember, to just hold him in place so that the Terrorblade can just destroy him.
I mean, Espada agree. If you looked at their bans, their first one was immediately the Treant.
Yeah, that respect ban. Treant after that Ogre. Sadly, we aren't seeing any Ogre today so far, at least. The hero is definitely respected by these teams a lot.
Poor little Loki.
And we have a Broodmother ban too. This time, Espada bans it.
Yeah, like okay, didn't work for us, but it might work for them. Let's not risk it. Because right now they didn't really have. They have the Earthshaker. That's great.
The Shaker.
But on the lane right now is.
Yeah, on the lane, I guess the Shaker is kind of fine if you lane the Shaker versus her, right? But the problem is then you're laning a Shaker mid, and you have a Shaker core, which isn't really... I mean, it can work, honestly. Versus TB, it can work too. It wouldn't be that horrible. But never mind that. The Brood is banned. Now they have to think about their last ban.
Who cares about the bans? You know what? We appreciate the other banners before. We haven't really given any appreciation to NoPangoliers, actually.
Wait, Huskar. That you have to appreciate that ban.
Okay, you appreciate that ban. Yeah, well, you know, it worked for Espada. They want to work for the opponents. They are one game down, right? If they lose here, they're out. Don't risk it.
They don't want to take any chances, yeah. The Pugna ban from Pango though makes me think maybe
Necro?
Necro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the way you think, right? There aren't many other heroes that require that Pugna ban.
It's not bad against these heroes either. The potential to siphon lanes as soon as you hit 6 is not too bad against the Weaver and the Ember.
It gives you some, yeah. As well, the laning stage is a bit stronger with the Necro too.
Yeah. Also, there's heal combos for the Wyvern and the Necrophos. These type of things. There's small overlaps, but it is beneficial, especially when you consider NoPangolier's ability to push. Something like a Necrophos there enables you to keep on pushing with the Death Pulse heals.
They have no way of dealing with the Shroud either. The Crystal Maiden kind of does well though. She has a lot of magic damage, a lot of slows, and Frostbite as well. So
The Ember can, of course, build that Radiance again. I mean, he already burns up a lot, right? So he could be good against the Necrophos regardless, but...
I don't know, that Radiance build did not look very strong. There's a reason people moved away from it and into the Yules plus Maelstrom build. And honestly, Ember as a hero, he can do a lot, but I don't know, so far in this tournament we haven't really seen way too many Ember games. Good Ember games at least.
You know, we've seen ones where they kind of do what they need to, they help their team win, but no outstanding ones. But this might change it. The Magnus Ember combo, of course, this is going to be pretty brutal against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense now. You know what? Ember, you don't want to build Battle Fury? Alright, you don't have to, but we're gonna give you one, regardless in the power of that Empower from Magnus. So, well, now the Ember looks scary actually.
I wouldn't mind seeing an Earthshaker Magnus lane as well.
Earthshaker Magnus, You could do that.
It's the stun, the block off, you can push them back. Also, if you're going to go like Brawler Earthshaker in their face, you get the Empower on him. He's actually quite threatening.
It wouldn't be bad. The thing is, you're laning Shaker plus Magnus both melee versus TB and most likely Wyvern.
Okay, no, so it will be RLTW with the Shaker most likely here, as it looks like it's going to be Magnus mid.
Magnus mid? Yeah.
I think that's kind of more base. I think they would have probably went for an offlane Magnus if it wasn't for that final pick. That Venomancer, if you put an Ember in that lane, you can win it, but you're usually relying on the Venomancer making mistakes than anything else with the Gale.
The problem in that lane for the Ember is if you hit the Gale, if the Gale hits you, that is, and there's one rotation, you die as an Ember. So it's very hard lane for an Ember. But at the same time, if it's truly one-on-one for the whole duration, you don't struggle that much. But still, Veno has some advantage there, definitely. Until level 6 at least.
Yeah, then the power spike comes out. And of course, that's the other thing. You hear me criticize it a lot. I think you're the same way on this. Venomancer can be a good pick, but it's not a space creator. It requires a lot of space because you get to level 6. A lot of heroes have these big power spikes, whether directly or indirectly. So, you know, like a Laguna Blade or indirectly with a Moonlight Shadow to set someone up. You don't do that. You just continue farming.
Yeah, you just take one side of the map, you spam some snacks there, you know, and you try and control the area.
You create a happy little camp and you hope no one invades.
Yeah, happy little camp and, well, no one can invade. I mean, they can try, but those snakes are always there to break those gangs, right? As long as they don't smoke or as long as they don't have shadow blades. And that's what you are actually always looking to like, if you're playing Veno, you want them to not have those shadow blades or heroes that have some shadow walks that can get on top of you, right? And right now they don't have that, but they do have that Ember. And after that level 6, he can kind of make a lot of space for his team, perhaps deal with that Veno really well. Interesting draft from both of these teams.
Definitely feels like Espada learned their lesson. They've more thoroughly invested in the early game. They have got these heroes that reach 6. They have these huge power spikes. There is the potential for Espada to very quickly take over the map, and they're going to need to against this lineup.
I'm wondering, though, like, we have the Ember versus Terrorblade again.
We do. But this time, maybe you stay elusive so you don't kind of try and run in and get, you know. Luckily, he didn't feel it too often because Broodmother was feeling it a lot. As that was the priority in terms of targets.
Well, this time it's definitely going to be a bit different as they don't have as much catch either versus that Ember. And this Ember has a Magnus. That's the difference, right?
Exactly. We're really biased towards Radiant with these cinematic views, by the way. Where's the love for Dire, okay?
There you go.
There we go.
Some good old lava.
Everything's feeling a little bit hot in here.
Whenever you're around, baby.
It's getting even hotter. Whoa, very hot when you unpause, actually.
Look at those colors. Immersion with the 2 mangoes and the stout. Basically, whenever you see the starting build from a Shaker, you instantly understand what his plan is and how he's gonna play that. And right now, this Shaker is telling us, I'm gonna brawl. I'm going there to put up a fight, man. I'm not gonna be just hiding in the trees, fissure blocking them. I'm actually gonna be fighting them.
But it looks like he's also going to do what I like to see here, which is going to fissure block at the start. He has got the clarity in his backpack. I typically like to see this when you got a hero like Ember, because the first one or two waves decide a lot.
Yeah, the equilibrium is really important where you start with the lane, right? If it's too close to their tower, if they can zone you out, it's very, very difficult for Ember as he's melee, right? It's hard for him to stay there, to last it without being pressured too much.
You know, here's an interesting thought. Like, we've seen Shakers up against things like Spectres before, and we never really see them block their opponent's wave. Because the one I'm thinking here is Spectre doesn't last it very well under tower at the start, right? So that could be a different, unique way to get the advantage against low base damage heroes, right?
Look at Shaker.
Yeah, he's doing a lot. I'm just waiting for him to accidentally release it and go, damn, that was...
I mean, some heroes, it can happen that you accidentally release the spell, but with Shaker it's very unlikely.
Well,
Also,
just blame on lag.
yeah. Also, that block, that enemy block is really good sometimes. Versus some heroes, as you mentioned. Versus some heroes that cannot last it properly under the tower or take a lot of damage. However, if you... basically, guys, we're talking about fissure blocking the enemy creeps under their tier 1 so that your creeps push into the tier 1 and die to the tower so that the equilibrium goes in your favor after that first wave. Now, Terrorblade doesn't care about that.
Yeah, Terrorblade doesn't. If it was on like a Venom, maybe.
He has way too much armor as well, so he can even tank those creeps. So overall, usually it would be great, but not there.
Speaking of creeps, Nyx gets the advantage on the block here to start with. And he should do really well in this lane because Venom has low damage. Whoa!
Seriously, guys, come on.
Do you not believe in a Magnus Earthshaker Ember? Like, come on, the amount of control and fights they have here.
No, you know what is it? This is basically, if they lost with Brood, they aren't winning without the Riser. That's what
if they can't win with Stomp Hero, they can't win at all. I mean, the Terrorblade's back again. He's a little bit threatening. And I also see it like this, that CIS, EU a little bit as well, but especially CIS, loves Centaur.
But yeah, Centaur is a top pick right now. Oh, LTV. Yeah, he's fine. So basically, the Centaur plus Rubik was what we saw a lot, but Centaur plus Dark Willow can work just as well. Because if you get caught in those brambles and the Centaur follows up, like, should be able to kill you off, especially if you're a squishy little bug.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Willow because everyone picks Willow. That's nothing special. Everyone loves this hero right now. Even after all the nerfs, it doesn't matter. It just still does so much. It's a very unique hero. If any, well, I guess the best way to look at it is if a hero has 2 ultimates.
Yeah, like just that random fact that she has 2 ultimates. Oh, Sailor is actually, well, they're on par on this mid lane. Veno has 1 more deny, but Magnus has 1 more lasted, so it's kind of alright for both of them. I'm wondering if Nyx is gonna start struggling soon. Sailor, if he starts leveling up that Gale instead of going for the Snake build, he should be taking down this Nyx very low.
Nyx is getting low.
Hello, Mr.
He hasn't
Nyx.
going very fast. He's just gonna die here.
That's first blood.
That's blood as well. Sailor, beautifully done. He'll salve up. Now, that's actually another thing there's been a lot of talk about is
salving up under the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is strange, and with the creeps as well. That's not how it used to work. Obviously, it was recently changed. Maybe.
Well, it used to be ridiculous. It used to be like any sort of aggression, creeps, even neutrals, whatever. I think like the nice way to do it would be salves would get cancelled by towers, but not clarities. I think clarities are kind of okay.
All right, salves get cancelled by towers, but not clarities, and clarities get cancelled by creeps, but not salves.
Let's not go back to those days, all right?
Let's just mix everything up.
Being a hard pos 5 is painful as it is, Liz. Don't make this worse for yourself.
Let's make it as obnoxious as possible. Let's just switch things up for the sake of complexity. And speaking of complexity, this lane is gonna be very hard for.
This is not complexity though. This is.
It's a complex situation for this Dark Willow. It's just really
needs to get the swarm off him, or 1 tap will do it. There we go. He does get rid of it, but gonna move in.
Oh, the Weaver!
Touch, they can't. Weaver's doing so much damage. Merch's gonna get low. Stomp's gonna come out. Ghostic will get the kill, and BZZ cannot do anything against this.
No, you didn't understand me. I said the Weaver because he attacked the Centaur instead of the Willow.
Yeah, instead of the Willow. I know.
Yeah, right.
It's questionable. It is a bigger kill, but it's super greedy. It's a very tanky Centaur.
Oh, Slayer is
He's going to be slain, and now not even 2-on-1 scenario needs to be careful. He's burning up the Flame Guard, trying to get the kill on Misha. Can he get it quick enough? No, he can't. The Crystal Nova comes out, And that is a nice show of dominance in the bot lane for Espada.
Yeah, I mean, they are winning that lane, but the first blood happened on mid for Veno, and the top lane is doing fairly well for Pangolier, so...
Maybe it would be better if Espada prioritized the target together instead of going after two different ones.
Exactly, yeah. So far, that's usually the way to kill people. If you oh, Gale, all right. That's not the way to kill anyone.
You miss 100% of the Gales you don't shoot. We've been over this before with Miranas. We've seen it now with Venomans.
Yeah, Gale is such a hard, by the way, skill shot, right? Impossible to hit, so that makes a lot of...
You're not selling yourself to teams here, Liz. Not with words like that. I mean, in fairness, Veno isn't really a POS 5 anymore. So
I was kidding, by the way. That should never happen, especially as he's in the creep wave.
Shouldn't happen. That was... Ghostic should be dead there.
If they did connect, then perhaps they had a shot on him, yeah.
Must be the boots. It threw him off. Immersion wasn't sure.
Oh, Sailor is
Sailor
getting
low,
but Nyx as well. And
yeah, it's also Shockwave on cooldown.
The thing is, Sailor can just heal up, while Nyx has to wait, because Gale is one of the longest spells, longest slows, level 1. I think it lasts 15 seconds or something. Doesn't dish out a lot of damage, but oh.
That was pretty early from Immersion.
Oh,
Stomp's
nice.
going to miss from Ghostic though, but BZZ moving away due to the Cursed Crown. They'll just settle for getting their own rune. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Misha snatched the runes.
That stomp was basically, come at me, man, come at me. Like,
Zonal stomp.
This is what I've got.
Intimidation stomp, that's what he's going for.
I mean, no one was even close. That Weaver wasn't even a Sukuchi or anything, so that was interesting.
Now, you know what? He's like, oh, you use your Fissure early. Oh, I want this to be like a skillful right-click battle to see who gets the rune first, so I'm just going to use my stomp.
I don't know. Yeah. Some spells in the laning stage were questionably used.
On both sides now.
On both sides so far, yeah. But it's a lot of fun to watch, though. Misha is coming mid.
Interesting that Nyx skewered away in that scenario, given that he has Misha here. Oh, there we go, that Fissure connect. Stun follow-up. Of course, taking a lot of damage here, but the Curse Crown will hit on the BCZ. They might better right-click him down. Might be their only choice. Shikuchi's going to be used. BCZ's going to try and move through. Ghostic, he might die here. He has no way of stopping this, and BZZ, oh, double edge coming out, the farm tap is there, he needs to get in Shikuchi form. He'll be able to do so, and Zayt's might want to be careful here. They could turn around and look for the kill.
There's Shikuchi.
Nope. Oh, he got tapped as he faded, but Zayt's will go down as well as the melee creep. He gets it. He gets the farm touch.
That was a small mistake there by BCC, because he did have Sukuchi earlier, so he could have went into it. Oh.
Sealer, skewer in. Nick says, fine, Gale me, I'll just get right on top of you. But now he's going to die to Naive, who has made a rotation.
Oh, the deny!
Misha! You glorious, magnificent move. It's a CM with 50 damage.
50 damage, Crystal Maiden denying. That was really great. And I was thinking, Ghostic?
Do you know what I'd like to see, actually?
Yeah.
I'd love to see in the replays if Nyx took his Stout Shield off.
Perhaps. That could have happened. That would have made it easier.
Because he looked like he had too much health for a deny at that point.
He was just taking a lot of dot damage.
Ghostic's being dove again. The route's going to be the Curse Crown. BZZ needs an escape plan, but it's not going to be there. Yes. Double Edge comes out. Ghostic gets the kill. That was a rotation coming for Sealer, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. If you try to be overly aggressive onto the Centaur and you eat a stomp, like, you're instantly dead afterwards. There's, like, as a Weaver, there is a reason why Centaurs are picked all the time versus this Weaver lane. It's because they work. And if you're aggressive, if you go into melee range...
Okay, here we go. Nyx? No, we can't see it. That did look like he had a little bit too much health.
He did, but he took as soon as Crystal Maiden
actually,
just before the attack landed, the dot hits him and gets him down lower.
I mean, that's not even someone I'm sure I've seen before. Is with RP coming out, seeing a little bit trouble. 3 heroes on 1, and he should fall. But I was gonna say, I'm not even sure Stout Shield can proc on allies.
You're asking too much of me.
This is deep, actually, because I don't think anyone's really ever asked that question before. How often does it come up?
I believe they have, and I believe I had this exact discussion, but
it's so rare.
But I was drunk at the point. It's one of those.
Ah, yes, the classic CIS discussions.
What do you think?
What do you think of this? The deny, team deny.
If I take down my stout, will you hit me harder? And then he slaps you in the face.
With an actual real-life shield.
Yeah. What are you doing, Gal?
I thought you meant now. Misha.
Bedlam.
That's an easy one. Bedlam. Well, they did use a Stampede as well. They didn't get bonus kill anywhere else as a result of the Stampede, but Zayt's is up to 6. This is the take control point for
this guy, every single game, man. That last game with the 3 and this game with the Willow doing so fine.
And speaking of doing fine, look at RTW. We said the Magnus is there to buff him up, because that's the thing. Magnus is actually doing really well in the mid lane. Even if he didn't, he'd be relegated to a buffer role. And as long as Ember's doing well, this is absolutely fine for Espada.
Yeah, I love this build as well. I mean, we've seen it for quite some time now with the Power Threads and Maelstrom, but Power Threads and Maelstrom and Aquila with the Empower, it's going to be great. It's going to work so well for him. But now we are reaching that obnoxious point in which they have to smoke up, and they are behind Sailor.
Look at this coming in from Sailor. The Fissure's going to be there. He's blocked in. He can't quite move. Shockwave. There's the Frostbite. They're committed now because Ghostic's shown up. The Remnant's in. Sailor going to go down. There's the Searing Chains holding on to Centaur. Looks like Misha will be able to move away. Ghostic needs to get out of here. He might be tanky, but the magic damage sure does hurt.
Yeah, ELTV, he read that perfectly. He came here to help his team out, but also he got
They might go for more. Oh no, Misha got found. Zayat snipes him out the Shadow Realm. RTW still is thinking about going here. They don't know. There is Searing Chains. Fissure blocks it off. Slayer, no! Immersion. These Fissures have been questionable. He's got about a 50-50 success rate on if he done it right.
50-50.
50-50.
50-50, yeah, these Fissures could have been a little bit better so far.
Not the biggest deal that Misha died, but the biggest deal is the fact that Espada rotated that many heroes. And
yeah, and the Ember wasted his time. Instead of going back bottom, he was still...
Oh, that Fissure is a little bit more important. The Searing Chain's going to come out. The Bedlam's going to be fluffed here, trying to move forward with the Curse Crown. The Flame Guard's still running. R2W getting low. Needs to move away on the Remnant. Is he by enough time? Yes, he might, but the Stampede. Going to put out another Remnant, moves forward. It's going to be close. They need to deny him. No, they don't get him. Zayat gets the final touch.
All right, so... these two bulky boys cannot deny an Ember, but the Crystal Maiden can. All right, sure.
She went to the gym.
Yeah, I mean...
What's happening? They're bulked up, but they haven't kept in shape.
He had Gale on, so they were able to kill him, definitely.
But the Urn ticked him out just before they could reach him.
They just messed up a little bit.
It was really greedy as well. Like we just said, Zayat's is his peak point. Well, he gets stronger, obviously, but this is the peak point in terms of the first 15 minutes. And you're choosing to fight into that alone. Because yes, Earthshaker's there, but he just fissured and cut you off from any reinforcements.
Which is another really questionable fissure. Oh,
Winner's Curse in the top lane. They got a sentry down. They see Weaver, the terrorized, force him to run into the root. Should be able to kill him off. Nice fissure though. It won't matter. Shadow Realm hits too hard.
Yeah, that hero though. I mean, Zayat's on that hero. It's not only that hero, but this guy, when he plays Dark Willow, he makes her look as strong as the first time she was introduced. Before all the nerfs, that is.
Yeah, because that was an actually really strong hero. It wasn't like every introduction where immediately people's first instinct is stupidly strong.
Back in the day when I was good on that hero for the first couple of days.
Back in the days when heroes released were super OP. I'm looking at you, Grimstroke. All right, everyone complains. The hero did have a little bit of strength around his E. Everyone always thought he was
still strong. I'm telling you, I have like...
Oh yeah, he's still strong, don't get me wrong.
I did that 100 games challenge. I ended up on 60 because of all these casting gigs, but the hero is just ridiculously good.
Yeah, he had about 50-50 win rate, and that's really good for Liz. Not so good for Misha.
no, it's not 50-50. It's like I have 20 wins more.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a decent number.
I had 50-50 at one point, but I was behavior score F at that point, so you have to understand. It's a different playing ground, very different.
I hear some people buy accounts in those scenarios.
You know who I met a lot?
Who?
Guess. Shadow Amulet.
Oh, the Chappy Amulet fun times. You know, you might start meeting DM there, you know, the new Empire mate after that game yesterday.
Yeah. Well, coming back to this exact game, so far the Magnus and the Ember are on top of the net worth. Weaver is holding up, so all three cores are above Radiance, but they aren't too far ahead.
They're not at a stage yet where, when they make these mistakes we've seen, like with the Ember make, for example, and the Earthshaker, it's not the biggest deal. It's not the end of the world because there's not a huge net worth gap. But if they make these mistakes 5-10 minutes from now, suddenly NoPangolier can just thrust themselves forward and take control of the game. So you do have to be careful.
I really like the way they controlled this Venomancer even after he got that first blood on his own. So it's not really easy, but all the rotations coming towards the Venom were on point. They really made him suffer in that lane, and that's a problem with this hero. Like, he's not really mobile. You rotate behind him before he starts spamming those snacks up, and you can't take him down easily.
There's a reason I want them to give him a cosmetic skin where he gets a monocle and they call him Slugworth. And it's because he's a slow being.
Yeah. He needs a blink or a force at least in almost every single
Yeah, but
game.
they didn't build that typically.
Ghostic.
BZZ moving in, Stampy's going to come, Ghostic on top, going to use that, but the Fissure comes out, Terror's going to be there, the RP. Nick's going to end on the 2, he needs to get away with the skewer, but he won't find it, it'll come out. He pushes 4 through, the Echo follow-up is big! They're going to get Terrorblade, triple kill for RTW. The time lapse back, he can't even get this kill on the Weaver, as Centaur will fall, and it's a team wipe.
Oh, the Echo, the RP was not great, but that Echo and plus the Empower,
And most importantly,
they melted.
Yeah.
They melted.
I want to give credit to Nyx as well, because he tanked a lot of that Bedlam. He didn't want to skewer through towards his teammates too soon. And Terrorblade, he just walked in and went, hey, how would you like a 4-man skewer over here? Let's go.
Honestly, if you are NoPangolier now, you have to think about the way you're approaching these fights, because in the team fights, you're not stronger. You should perhaps... Oh, look at this, look at this now. First, BZZ does not manage to ult. He's stunned.
But that Fissure brought him enough time, and that RP, this is what I'm talking about. Look, he just tanks the Bedlam, and then skews away just in time to keep RTW alive.
I think what he was doing there as well is there was no Winter's Curse, so he ultis Winter Wyvern, so he cannot save anyone. And then the skewer is also there to because they didn't finish him in the RP, he skewers him, so he can't use the Winter's Curse too.
And it's also the, I'd say the synchronicity, the moves came out, not from just from the Ember, but from the Earthshake as well. The Echo and the Remnants, everything to just make sure there's no Sunder coming out, because in fairness, if Terrorblade gets a Sunder out to full HP there, or even half, he takes 2 free heroes with him with the poison on him.
Just so well played by Espada.
And that actually sets a precedent now. Ember's building a healthy lead at the top now. And I'd say Ember, he's still got a lot of power spikes to come. Of course, this hero does a lot with the big item pickups late in the game, things like Battle Furies and Daedalus.
Yeah, they're still very limited by their ultimates on Espada. And,
Gale coming out BZZ. He could move forward with the Shikuchi if he wants to, but he'll be happy with that, seeing there's 2 heroes. They're going to try and actually bait them out, because the tier 1's still standing. Misha moving forward. Ward goes down. Spots outside. Bedlam's there. He's going to tank it, although the freezing field as well. He's doing a lot of damage. Return side. It's going to fall alongside.
They kill each other.
And now the Fissure comes out. It's a beautiful Romeo and Juliet story. But no one wants the intruder on the side. Sealer's going to go down.
Those are 2 Juliets, though.
Where's Romeo? Is he going to tell? Oh, is that when Terrorblade TP's down here, sees his team is dead, and goes, no. What have I done?
Well, Slayer is here, but he's not going to be happy about that, I think.
Slayer's about to become the Slade if he's not careful. They're
he
moving in. Remnant. Ghostic is here. He's going to blink away, though. He says, hell no, I ain't helping on this Wyvern. When his curse is going to achieve nothing as he burns up anyway. And Ghostic, they didn't quite see him. No, Nyx! He knows that they're around here! They go snooping, and they found themselves a horsey. The Stomp's going to come out, turn around the double edge to get rid of the Flame Guard, but he might be tanky, but against 4 heroes, it doesn't matter.
NoPangolier, they aren't really as impressive as in that first game. They're I don't know, they're just not really connecting their movements really well. The lack of communication, the fact that Wyvern escapes there but just makes the Centaur die as well.
Misha, that's okay.
He can't move.
He's got a big wand, actually. It's fine. It's just the way he stood still even after getting hit by a Shadow Realm.
Yeah, the problem, the brambles are everywhere around him. So.
BZZ moving in. The Bedlam's going to come out. He needs to be careful. The Cursed Crown. Zayat's one more tap will do it. Can they find it? Nyx wants to move forward. He could go for the skewer opportunity. There it is. Jumps in with a blink. Gets it with a shockwave. And they might finally take down this tier 1, because once they do that, Espada actually have access to the Roche Pit, and they have a very good lineup with the Empower and the Swarm coming out from the Weaver.
Yeah, like they're taking control of this map after this tier 1 falls. They just have everything they need to just completely shut down the Terrorblade's ability to farm, as he's struggling right now. He's farming in the safest positions. But yeah, he is.
That's pretty brave. Stampede going to come out. The Frostbite just going to push him away. Says Nyx, okay, let's go. RP, freezing field's there. There's going to be a Winter's Curse coming out to cancel out CM's ult. And it looks like they might bet again. Poison over the Echo coming out. They'll get rid of Ghostic in return. BZZ's going to chase on the Sealer. Sealer cannot move away quick enough. He should fall here on the back foot. It looks like Wyman's going to go down as well. The time lapse comes out. BZZ's going to move away. Sealer, he's still alive. Immersion does not have the Fissure for 8 more seconds. Try for the Searing Chains, they didn't hit on the Zayat. So, all in all, 2-for-1 trade. The RP was expended along with the Echo.
RP and Echo, you did use the Winter's Curse, but it doesn't really matter that much. And you got a kill, which is worth something at least. You aren't being completely obliterated by Espada, because so far they haven't even been able to put themselves on the map. And with that kill, at least they buy themselves some time. They don't lose the tier 1 mid immediately, and Naive can farm a little bit more.
And my only thoughts are, with the Poison Nova on cooldown, with the Winter's Curse on cooldown, do Espada just go immediately to Roche now?
No, they could.
They haven't got the reset themselves with Echo or RP, but they could go for this.
They could.
Actually, they're going to go for Ghosting instead. Moving in. LTW needs to be careful to terrorize or connect with the stomp as well. The skewer back. They say, Ghostic, you ain't going anywhere but to hell. Going to try and turn around. Yule's going out. LTW's getting low. Get the final tap. He's going to get killed Ghostic and move away while bottling up. Now BCZ going to work. We'll get the Killer Wyvern as well. Use time lapse to get out. Fish is going to be there. Getting him low. Misha's looking to move into the Frostbite. The shockwave's through. Sealer's staying alive. The one does protect him. But BCZ, he's waiting patiently here. There's so many low heroes. Which one does he want? He goes for Zayats instead. He might move across on the Sealer as well. Did he see him?
He should go, yeah. He should go for the Weaver.
BCZ's going for it. He sees the wall get placed as well, so he knows exactly where this Veno went. Or does he? He guesses the wrong way. See that? I mean, come on, it's a Veno. You don't expect him to move that fast away from you in the open field.
Alright, so he doesn't get the Venom, gets the Dark Willow, and overall Espada just taking another favorable fight. Ember that with that Yules just save his life. From 1 HP, bottles up, gets out.
Do you know what the big difference this game compared to the last game is for LTW? This time, he built a defensive item.
Yeah, he has that Yules, so you cannot just root him once or stun him once and he's dead. He actually has ways. I think you have to go for Yules. If you're playing Ember versus Dark Willow and you're not buying Yules or a defensive item, there's something wrong.
Then you should be writing your will before you begin the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Overall, though, Pangoliers are not losing their Terrorblade. He's still farming. He's not on top, but he's getting there. He's 8k, 2k behind the Ember. He's finding farm, and if he manages to maybe split push them, for someone to go back, and then they take a favorable fight. Because Espada still, they're still all about their ultimates. They're really strong in these team fights, but if you manage to prolong that fight, if you manage to make them with those ultimates, you might be able to just take the favorable fight.
Well, you have to last longer. You got the Poison Nova, and that's not a quick burst win fight. You need to drag it out.
Yeah, you have to drag these fights out somehow.
And look at this wraparound. They find Sealer. Speaking of the Poison Nova man himself, Stampy's going to be there. The Stomp coming out, Earthshake. The Poison Nova's been used. He's stacked on top of. Venom Archer should still fall. On the back foot, Immersion buying a lot of time, but will go down. No! He's going to move away. Gothic moving across, but he can't escape. LTW on top, and the Winner's Curse is going to come out. Ember taking a decent amount of damage, but Gothic's still stuck here. He's going to go for the Stomp. Nice Yules to dodge out, and now Sendar just signed his death warrant. He's down. BCZ chasing forward, looking for more. They're going to look on the Slayer, they'll be able to find him. Just trying to put out the dots. Maybe he goes for Splinter Blast. LTW dodges it out though, and he'll get the kill. Triple kill for BCZ. And with that, you can either go tier 2 or you can go to the Roche Pit. Both are open to you.
I mean, at this point, the Terrorblade is telling them, guys, what are you doing?
We're buying space for you, Terrorblade, please.
Yeah, please stop feeding them, because that space means nothing. I'm killing one wolf that gives me 50 gold, while they are killing the 4 of you, which gives them 1,050 gold. It's not...
And that's the thing I was going to highlight here, is we said about these long, retracted fights, this game is all on Terrorblade right now. Because the other important thing is we said, Willow, this is a big power spike, she's going to kill a lot of people. Oh, Shaker's got a 1,000 gold lead. And Shaker does a lot with money. If he gets his pocket money on time, he's going to go out and buy all the big boy suites. With the Blink Dagger, the Axe, Yules. There's so many items this guy uses well.
Yeah, Terrorblade is just thinking, I'm not going to even fight before I have BKB. But even with that BKB, if they initiate on him, it's not really going to matter. He's not going to be tanky enough. And
Slayer, he's got initiated on.
Speaking of another guy that's not tanky at all, that's
He really isn't. He tends to disappear very fast here. And they are just poking and prodding. They're waiting for NoPangolier to make a mistake because they either come out, risk it and die, or they stay in their base and do nothing.
I think their biggest issue so far has been this Venomancer. A completely irrelevant hero so far in this fight.
Venomancer useless in the mid game? What are you talking about, Liz?
I mean, if you're at least able to create space...
Even Ghosty feels useless. Gonna use the Stampede, try and turn around. Might find Misha. The Fear's going to be there. Force them away. Weaver stunned up with the Curse Crown about to come out. They should be able to get the kill and see him. No, BCD gets the time lapse out in time. Ghostic now needs to go on the run. Misha, he tanked it all. He's not even dead. The Gale's going to come out. Sealer moving forward. Terrorblade is here. He's going to get the kill on the CM, but that's going to be it. The rest of them out there. And yes, it's only a 1-for-1 trade, but it's a pos 5 for a pos 3. And on top of that, it sends a message when you can't kill a CM in that span of time.
You know what else? They used the Metamorphosis, and they only got the Crystal Maiden. And Meta is basically your ultimate on Terrorblade, as it takes so much time to get it back on. And right now, this is the real opening for Espada. They can do whatever they want to. I mean, they can take any objective that they want to because there's absolutely nothing that they should be afraid of right now.
And this lack of lockdown on NoPangolier's side has really cost them a lot now. It's the thing, Centaur, he's not in a good place, and he's the source of lockdown, really.
You don't have lockdown, but you have Venomancer at least.
Oh, thank God.
You can plant some snakes around, gale people, slow them down, use ulti that does nothing, feels good.
So you can make your base look bulky and pretty when it's crumbling around you. I like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Exactly, you can make it prettier with all those little...
Well, it depends which cosmetic skin you've got for your wards.
Well, ELTV, he's moving towards that Linken's, it seems. And Linken's... So, what does it do? It helps him not get initiated on by the Wyvern, I suppose. As if the Wyvern initiates on him, like they can continue with the other spells really easily. Like they can set up the Curse Crown, they can set up the stun from Scent. Overall, besides that, the Linken's versus Sunder perhaps, but it's not...
Yeah, it's like Sunder, Curse Crown. There are spells that you're worried about. With the Yules as well.
With the Yules, I mean.
It gives you so many defensive layers, right? So maybe the logic in the mind is you've got the Empower, he's going to be strong regardless. Weaver is kicking a lot of
you have
right
enough
now.
damage, you have enough damage, definitely.
Don't be overkill. Now RTW's been found, Stomp's going to come out, Terrorize, falling and run away. The Glimmer Cape though, they finally pop the dust, they'll be able to get the kill. Now he uses BKB and Misha dances to the tree line. Now he says, thank you very much, CM, that's a freebie. On the side though, BCZ going to want to seal it, can he game in time? The BKB coming out, the winner's curse though. They're going to move across, and he needs to move on now. He won't have the damage to kill Sealer, but at least he'll be able to run away. The BKB is still up.
This is actually so good for NoPangolier. A huge fight for them, killing that Ember. Because we haven't talked about this, but both Weaver and Ember, they have one very big problem when it comes to Dark Willow. As if you get terrorized, you just die, you melt in that. And there was no Shaker to help them out there. That's also a little bit questionable. But if you get stunned by the Centaur and then you followed up by the Dark Willow Terrorize, you're just disabled for such a long time. And items like Yules and Linken's, they're not gonna help you in that scenario.
This is kind of the thing, is actually I think about that and I say, Ember could build an Aeon Disc, but then you look at the fact that we didn't say they have too much lockdown, but if NoPangolier land the start of the lockdown, the consistency of it means that an Aeon Disc is completely useless. Linken's is really his own option, or BKB, but BKB doesn't help when you're perma-stunned.
No, I mean, that Aeon Disc that you mentioned, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Sailor?
He's not going to escape this. Searing Chains come out, he should be ran down quite easily. Meanwhile, we'll watch Dark Willow try and move around Shadow Realm. There you go. Sealer goes down, RTW gets the kill. Peter already's poisoned over. You just shrug. You say whatever. Space for Terrorblade.
Nyx, yeah, slowly moving towards that. BKB has the Shadow Blade. So far, all his items aren't really offensive. It's not like your casual Echo Saber wearing Magnus. He doesn't really hit that hard, but he has many ways in which he can initiate with, like the Shadow Blade, the Blink afterwards. He can use himself not to care about any disables. This
is kind of the thing, actually, is you kind of hit on it with the Ember already. We're hitting it now with the Magnus, even with the Weaver. They're building very defensive items, and that's definitely not a defensive ult coming out. They're going to finally kill the Magnus. Didn't even get a chance to escape.
Oh.
And his curse coming out on the Weaver. Can they do anything? They got lockdown? Nope. Ghost is going to be interrupted. BC is going to move through, look for the Kill Slayer. The dust does reveal, and the Cold Embrace is going to be there. BC has to use time lapse pretty early. He should just be able to run over out. LTW. Pulls out Naive with the BKB. Naive moving forward, wants the target here. The Poison Nova is going to clip onto BCZ with the BKB, going to turn around the Swarm. Looking for the kill onto the Gothic. He might be able to get it, but no one needs to move away. The Fissure is decent, but Immersion cannot look for any Echo Slam opportunity.
Considering how much they invested in defensive items, they aren't really playing cautiously enough. They're still falling. You have the Shadow Blade, you have the Yules, and you still fall there, even though they have no detection. Like, you just move into them.
And that's the thing, is like
problematic.
On top of that, I was getting to it, is no one's building these aggressive items. No one's building the big damage. They're just going, Magnus will deliver us. We got RP, we've got Echo Slam, we've got these big ults.
What does the Weaver have? Like, how
he's got a Maelstrom and a BKB.
Maelstrom and a BKB, and he's doing the Linken's as well.
There's a point at which you're being too defensive, and this could cost them.
Yeah, having these two Linken's says that's going to be problematic.
Link eyes.
Link eyes.
Yeah, because you got multitude. Oh, look at this move. Oh, they're going to be interrupted. Sealer's getting ready to run into the Roche pit here.
A small snack is
LTW, Searing Chains, root up the Venomancer.
Maybe Fissure Block? Nope.
They can't quite cut him off. He's taking a lot of damage, so he has to back up. They can't hit the Searing Chains again, sadly. Well, the fissure has actually stopped them from getting back in the Roche pit for the moment, and they're a little bit paranoid because Poison Nova shouldn't be too long on cooldown. It's got about 30 seconds left.
I mean, after they lost that first fight, in which Magnus died, they're perhaps thinking of taking another one here by baiting them around the pit. If you bait them around the pit, perhaps you can go and jump and RP them and take a favorable fight. But if you don't catch that Terror Blade and he starts hitting you, oh, that Terrorize was used actually for no reason.
They thought they went back in. They didn't quite see it though because it was hidden by the Roche pit fog.
That's a slight mistake. Still though, but
it is indeed.
Are we gonna see? Like the problem is
they could smoke. There we go.
Yeah, but they have to go around. Look at this. This is perfect. Like, the problem with this smoke is you can't go head on. You can't go through the river and onto the high ground. You have to go all the way around. Because if you go head on, you're moving onto high ground where they have vision. But if you go like this, look at that. The scan is from the IR. Basically, they're scanning so they know that
to make sure it's safe. They don't want to risk this too much.
But still, the Radiant is falling back, and they might.
Yeah, but the Radiant's on the low ground now.
They are. And Venomancer
is forward. Person to be forward if you can get your ult, but he won't. He's dead. Stampede moving in. Gossip go to the stomp with the back foot. There's the Echo Slam coming out. Most needs to move away. There's going to be the winner's curse. And being ran down by his own Ember. But on the side, Mija, he's dancing his heart off. Emerge is going to go down. Now, even the BKB still running, it's going to go out. Sealer, he did buy back this. He gets the poison over round. It's going to be moved away by the Ember. BZ's going even deeper. He gets a time lapse. He gets a kill. It's a die back for the Venomancer. Mija moving in. Needs to be careful himself. Going to go for Frostbite. Now he's going to dodge out with the Manta, but they're going to go in. Searing Chains is good. They're going to lock this down. Gostic, the big stun. RP coming up next. They're going to move. They need this kill, but the Cold Embrace is going to keep Terrorblade alive. And now they need to run for the high hills. Dust coming out too late from Gostic, but that was a clutch moment from the Centaur. If it wasn't for that stomp, they get wiped.
That clutch saved by Slayer and clutch saved by Gostic with that stomp. Overall, these two have just won them this fight. However, you have to keep in mind that the Veno did die back, but you don't really care that much about the Veno at this point any longer. His item progression.
Stomp coming out. They can't get him. He's still got one remnant to work with. And also, the big thing to highlight here is Espada blew their big ults again.
Yeah, they blew the big ults on both sides, but Espada, they do care about their ultimates a bit more, I believe. Oh,
Terra's coming out. Zayas wants to use a LTW move away. Merchant is here, but he doesn't have Echo. He can't go for a solo kill. He has to back away.
Be careful now.
Stampede, Dust Reveal in the mid lane, trying to go to work here. Yule's going to come out. Need to buy time. LTW needs the escape plan. The Remnant does go out in time with the Slight Fist. He can move away. He tries for the Searing Chains, but Gostic is lucky there.
I have a feeling Espada are having a little bit of miscommunication issue, especially there on that top bounty rune with the Shaker and the Ember. They could have went for that Arc Willow if the Ember did not remnant out, because they had the stun lock control there on the Zayats.
Yeah, there's no way he would have got terrorized out. And it feels like this is the story of the game, though. Espada, the items say they're defensive. Their behavior is starting to suggest they're getting defensive.
Yeah, because in that last fight, honestly, it was only even because Veno died back. So you did kill their midder twice. It's not horrible for Espada, but at the same time, the Terrorblade survived, the Centaur survived, and they did so much and got so much out of that fight.
And that's got to feel terrible as Espada, because what you've done is you found Venomancer first. He's the one that needs to be going in first with NoPangolier to get the Poison Nova out. He didn't even get it off initially.
Yeah, he didn't. But what was really funny is that these teams understand each other. Oh, Gostic.
LTW's fine. He'll move away.
Yeah, but nice, should be fine. They understand like how Espada moves. Espada understands how Pangoliers move. Like the Veno, why he died is because he went there to cast that snake because he knew they were gonna come there. Did he necessarily have to go and die there? Probably not, but he was giving information for his team, and that's one of the reasons why they had a semi-favorable fight there.
And that's kind of the thing, is actually, in fairness, if you did hit the Poison Nova, they will walk away.
Yeah.
As opposed to this, they come back. But this is just going to show, I think, more than anything else, is these ex-Odin players. NoPangolier, does it feel a little bit like they're more in sync right now in Espada? Because to reset the fight the way they did is not easy.
Definitely. Definitely. They are in sync.
Not like the boy band.
Some of these...
Properly.
Some of these movements are really hard to execute, and they're doing really well.
Ults are back up for Espada. They might go on the prowl, look to make a move. NoPangolier's snooping around the Roche pit again. They think something's going on. Actually, they want to do it themselves. This could be big for Espada. Immersion Shadow Blade runs out. The Fish Day's gone on the Wyvern instead. Whoopsie daisies. They're trying to move away the Stampede, but held in place. They'll get rid of the Earthshake. That's a big kill. And I see Stomp coming out. Ulti will be found. Terrorized going to be there. He's going to have to run away, but Ember, no! He's in trouble here. He needs to move away. Missed chance for high ground's going to protect him. BZZ trying to move forward the BKB. Knife needs to move away as he's running out. Nyx, RP, help, no! He doesn't catch on the Terrorblade. It's huge! Echo coming out. Good control. They need to lock down Naive so he can't get the Sunder out, though. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Enchant terms there. They're going to move in. Naive, no! He gets it off. Full HP. Merch has to run away, but he's got no one really helping him here. He's going to burn for him. Gossic's going to go down. So's the Terrorblade. The buyback from the Wyvern achieving nothing. The winner's curse coming in. Who does he want? Nyx, too tanky. And now Slayer, he's just hung himself out to dry because he's going to die too. It's going to be a team wipe for the side of Espada, as they claim everyone on the side of NoPangolier and the buybacks included.
The Ember plus Magnus combination is so strong here, and also the Weaver, they all dealt so much damage. I actually thought this was going to be horrible for Espada because of that Shaker kill, but luckily for them, he had a buyback. He instantly buybacks, goes to the shrine, comes in, just lurks from the distance and takes down that Terrorblade. Yeah, the Terrorblade did use Thunder here, and I think it was on the Shaker too.
It was.
But they still take him down, and that's the power of these shrines, man. When you go for these fights around the Rosh Pit, but you don't have the shrines down, like the enemy team, it doesn't matter if you kill them, they just buy back and they go back in.
And Liz, would you put your hands together on your knees, ready for a prayer to Ari and Jesus? Because the amount of times that Terrorblade missed uphill there, that was decisive. If LTW drops there, I don't think they have the damage to challenge Terrorblade when he gets that Sunder off.
Yeah, BCZ does do a lot, but without that Ember with Empower, it's very hard for them to dish out enough damage.
As a result, the tides are turning. The build up in gold is continuing for Espada. They're up to 19k net worth lead now. And
Terrorblade's
strong.
Over. Yeah, he did take over. He's on top, but still,
there's a point at which he can't do it alone.
It's only him. It's basically only him. The Centaur needs that Aghanim's to maybe help him survive through these fights. The Venomancer also. He's basically these two other cores on the side of NoPangolier. They're their basic utility, nothing more. Centaur with some control as well with the Centaur and the stuns. But Veno went into that pipe. Does not dish out a whole lot of damage, even with his ultimate. The Centaur likewise. Yeah, he can stun and double edge, but it's more importantly all about his ultimate, right?
And here we
Look
go.
at this. Immersion, dies heal first, right?
This could have been so bad as well. Going down that early for an Earth Shaker is damning, usually. But that was the thing. Look, this stun, and watch how many times Naive misses uphill. He 4-stars out. He knows the important kill. That miss, hit, miss. It's horrible. And it was that close. I think if he hit 2 more times, I think if he hit him 100%, he gets the kill, guaranteed.
Yeah, he probably had... Yeah, he had buyback there, so it wouldn't be completely game-changing, but it would force Ember to buy back. So.
Well, he hadn't put down a Remnant. That's what I was thinking. It would have been the big deal. But it kind of felt desperate after that point. The moment you don't get that kill, NoPangolier, they kind of panic. They did dodge out the RP, which is beautiful for Terrorblade.
It was very unfortunate for them, and this
was unneeded.
Yeah, this was unneeded. Slayer basically bought back. He was already here. He sees these two with very low HP, and he thinks he has a kill. He doesn't, sadly. Oh, look at this.
This looks like this is pretty. I'd like to see that as a screenshot. Take the numbers out. I'll have that as a screenshot. That's pretty kick-ass.
All right, looks good.
It's kind of like this is old man Gandalf creep going, "You shall not pass!"
And then dies instantly to an illusion.
Speaking of dying, Wyvern's been found. Okay, has to use the winner's curse, and this is super defensive, and he's surrounded. He's not getting out. Punishments must be made. Next season, yours is going to be there. They're going to move across with a stun from Immersion, and goodbye, Mr. Wyvern.
Yeah, this is a bit unfortunate for them, because Wyvern is one of those heroes that defends very well, but he has 40 seconds, and they have
no buyback, though.
They have no ways.
Look at this smoke.
The smoke could be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, base Echo Slam on it too. Naive. He can't get the BKB out. The RP is going to be the Remnant, and he's going to go down. That's the big kill they've been looking for. They're going to hunt for more. Sealer will just TP out, though. He'll be safe. Buybacks. Are they there? Naive. He should have his.
Yeah, they should have predicted that move, honestly. After the Wyvern dies, they should know that they're coming.
That's my thought. It's like, this is smoke, but they shouldn't find anything because there's no way that NoPangolier stay out of their base after that. And it's predictable where they are, right?
I think they're just a little bit rattled at this point. After all these fights not going their way, after all those uphill misses, I think that the salt is flowing, the rivers of salt, and they're a little bit tilted, definitely.
LTW, aggressive in. Searing Chains does connect, but Venomancer 4 stars away. Fissure is available from Immersion. They want to pursue this. Yes, they do Remnant in, but the Glimmer Cape's going to be there. Nyx does miss the skewer. He guessed the wrong side, but they will be able to take this lane now. Terrorblade up in 20 seconds. He don't want to expend the buyback.
It's a zoning skewer, man. That's what it was. nothing more.
Intimidation skewers.
Well, LTW, he can die here. He has to be careful.
Yup, they might pop the Aegis. Is close, but he can move away with the Remnant. They should Stampede as well. They won't hit anything.
Why was there no one else coming in?
Why
to
was
right
the Stampede that slow?
I mean, why was no, like, okay, Willow, she couldn't, but Winter Wyvern, he definitely could have went
Well,
in
he
to
tried.
hit it.
Yeah, with a Splint Blast, but that was a little bit too late.
Just a few right clicks and he was down. Well,
Wyvern right click build.
unfortunate.
Let's go. Pick up the treads into the Maelstrom.
Truth be told, Ember is not the tankiest hero, so even this 87 damage with the Arctic Burn, it would suffice. But they were afraid, basically, because in these situations, if you go for a kill and you don't get it, and they turn on you, you just lose the side instantly. So being a bit overly defensive does make sense.
I think it's the thing, you pop the Aegis, but then you've moved too far forward. In fairness, though, to look at it from the other perspective, Espada don't have the big ults. The Earthshaker, they already know use the Echo. Same with the RP.
They don't have the ultis, but at this point, all they have to do is just put you out of position. And if they manage to do that, you will die.
True. I feel like they could have a bit more confidence in these choke points, though, with a Venomancer and a Wyvern. They should be in control. Yes. Well, Darkwill as well. Like, you look at most of these heroes, all of them are really good for high ground defense.
They do have some control between those three heroes, definitely, but not a lot of damage. That's the problem. While if you go on someone, this is the problem. You can go on, let's say, Ember, but if you see the Magnus or you have him control, but then there's still Shaker lurking about. You can go on Ember and Shaker, but then there's still Magnus lurking about, and that's a problem. You can't ever really be free to initiate the way you want to.
I like that BZZ is going for a Bloodthorn here, because normally you'd be like, okay, the BKB's on Terrorblade, what can you do? But as we saw in that last fight, he didn't get a chance to use it. So the amplified damage means you spend 2-3 seconds less on the Terrorblade. That's actually huge in these fights.
I mean, you can take as much time as you wish on that TB as long as you take him down, right? Because he's the only important hero on the side of NoPango.
I'm just thinking resets, though. For example, the Winter Wyvern with the Winter's Curse.
I like his Skadi build this game, though. It feels very necessary, especially because the Ember has Empower all the time. He dishes out so much damage. Oh, Zayats was actually scouted there.
Yeah, he can't go for this now. LTW is going to move away back to his team anyway. He sees people are out the base. And look at this Echo move forward. They found two Sealer. Might go down quickly. Stampede's going to be there trying to move in. The Winner's Curse. The Poison Nova. It does come out with the RP. Nyx just pummeling in. The Terrorize going to be there trying to run away. But Misha, he starts his heart off again. Nyx taking a lot of damage. BKB's going to come out. They're going to move away. Naive, he needs to try and hold this. BKB runs out. Now the Stomp coming out. They're going to look for BCD and find the kill. The thing about going in, they've ruined him up, they're stunning him down, they want to deal with this slowly. The Sunder's going to come out and do his own teammate though. And Terrorblade ready to fight. But he can't move. This is actually perfect control. There we go, Remnant in, Searing Chains again. He doesn't have the Sunder anymore. They could commit and kill. But they're taking their time here. There we go, Mercer goes in, the stuns are there, the Remnant across, Naive should fall. The final tap comes out from Misha. That's the big kill they needed. But there is a buyback on the Terrorblade.
Yeah, they were basically just waiting for the Shaker to go in first so that they don't fall to the Terrorblade themselves, because they were pretty low and the Shaker didn't have enough mana to go instantly. He was thinking about using another Fissure, then he decided to just go blink in and totem him, which was definitely the better way. And also, these are some mistakes from Team NoPangolier, man. Like, if you are in such a deficit, if you are stuck on your high ground for a longer period of time and you know they're lurking around your base, the only way you go outside of your base is either with Shadow Blades or with the smoke. There's no other way for you to move out. And they tried moving out without those, and they instantly get echoed there.
And having Zayat so far away, he's a big form of lockdown for them. So to have him that far out and arrive late to the fight, we saw the repercussions. They did eventually get a Terrorize out, but the RP came out beforehand. They couldn't actually capitalize on it.
Yeah, I'm not certain what they were thinking there. They did get that Weaver, though, and that's a big kill. But at the same time, they lose the Terrorblade. And while the Weaver is a nice skill, the Terrorblade is definitely nicer, as the Weaver, he still has his teammates, he still has the Ember and the Magnus.
Well, there's more elements of work here, especially because you have to look at it from the perspective that there's an Ember and there's a Weaver. If you kill either of them, if it looks grim, they just buy back. They're instantly back in the fight.
Back, yeah. I don't know though, Naive with that Terrorblade, the last game he did so much. Perhaps we're going to see something very similar.
Oh, Cross has been found. Cross bitten up. He can't move away from this. The freezing field. The Stampede coming out. Forced off to safety. Double forced off. Nyx moving in. RP, no! Winner's Curse. Perfectly timed interrupter. Searing Chain's on the side. Sealer's been found, but can they move on top of him? No, they don't want it. It's not worth it for a Venom kill. You stack hard on it, the poison never comes out.
That RP would have caught Terrorblade, and they have no other ways of saving him either, because they expended all their 4 staffs for the Centaur save. So that Winter's Curse was on point. Very well played by Slayer.
We say what we want about Slayer. We criticized his Winner's Curse at the Roche pit, but that offsets any concern here. That was pinpoint perfect.
No, I mean, besides that Roche fight, his game was really good. Everything he did was really nice.
Hot. All right, Crystal Maiden really wants a full ultimate. In fairness,
no, that's just...
I'm thinking lockdown, right?
He's just messing with them, honestly, at this point.
No, but think about from a lockdown perspective, right? Most of it is just damage.
Just do it. He's just messing with them, honestly. They know each other. They played with each other so many times and in so many different teams. He's just messing with them at this point. I mean, it's all right versus Venomancer, like, to survive. This is just a troll build. Like, you go for the Blink BKB or something like that in any situation almost. You get the nullifier, you get the hex.
Well, the thing
you don't get the...
Oh, Echo coming out. You get Echo. That's what happens. Terrorblade controlled up right now. The Terrorites try and protect him. Will force him away. BKB used defensively by Naive to walk it off. I mean, no, I'm going to defend this because the thing I'm going to say is if you go for a BKB, Terrorblade just kills you straight away. Aha! Come on, Liz.
Yeah, you go for the heart. That's it. It's the best build on Crystal Maiden. Guys, in every single pub that you play, you should always go for... rush it, actually. Go Tranquil's heart. Don't buy anything else. It's the best build for Crystal Maiden.
Works on Myoga Magi, must work on CM pit. BCZ with the DD, just moving in, trying to belt through these buildings. They'll get caught in the brambles.
What matters in life is that you have a big heart. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It translates in Dota as well.
They always say she's as cold as ice, but she wants to prove that she has a heart. This is a fairy tale story right now.
Of course.
So things are looking grim for NoPangolier, but the thing I really want to give them credit to is if they continue this rate and they don't lose too much of their base, Venomancer gets level 25. High ground defense amplifies.
No, they can definitely take this game if it goes super late, even versus an Ember, because the Terrorblade, if they manage to control that Ember, he can disappear quite fast with the Terrorblade hitting him. The TB is going for that Butterfly. It's not as good of a TB game as it was in the last one, but it's still alright. Go, Misha, go with that heart. Show us what you got.
Show us your strength. You know, you got a big heart like that, you must have worked out a lot. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to prove CM has more muscle than you, Liz.
So the Weaver, the Weaver is also going to be a very important factor for Espada, as he's probably going to be the one hitting the high ground. Actually, perhaps Misha is going to be hitting the high ground too with that heart. On level 20.
Next.
But no.
Yeah, because the attack speed.
Yeah, on level 25.
Coming out, Stomp interrupting him. He's so tanky they can't bring him down. Obviously just double-edged into him, but the CM is ridiculous. The root up, the move away, the Yules, the poison node has been put down. The BK from Naive going to work. Gets rid of the CM finally. But that's going to be it. They're going to move away with the rest. On the back foot, Slayer's been found, and Merchant just stun him up. The Winner's Curse is going to come out. BCZ almost killed his own Earthshaker.
Ghostic is
moving
ready
forward,
though.
Nick to the taps, Ghostic with a stomp. They'll look for the kill, they'll find an Earthshaker. Death for 100 seconds, the Terrorize coming out. LTW dodges out, moving away. Reflex is slowing down. The Skadi as well, he needs to actually make space here. Remnant tried to get away. The Yules, which way are you going to go with this? Rude up on the spot, they're going to turn around, look for him now, but he's dead. Triple kill with Naive. RP coming out the buyback. LTW baited in. The Suns comes out. Terrorblade down.
He has no buyback.
He doesn't indeed, and that is a huge kill. And LTW, you saw it, right? He could have actually run in the back. Instead, he just waits. It accepts his fate, and as a result, they get the most important kill of the game. BCZ needs to be careful here, but he's baited in. Ghostic stuck. He can't blink away. Silenced up, he'll be ran down. The stun control, and he's dead.
Yeah, at the same time, Ember is going straight down mid. They do have 2 buybacks on Winter Wyvern and Centaur, but they do not have that Terrorblade. So if they both buyback, Espada can either choose to go down mid or to go for Roche. They don't have buybacks either. And this isn't really the great position for Espada. I think the game could have been much cleaner for them, but here they might just take a side at least.
Shaker still has Echo though. This is the big deciding factor in this fight.
They don't. They actually have a sentry, but it's they should have seen him. Yeah.
Slayer doesn't have the Winner's Curse. Silenced up, needs to move away here. This is the thing. Without the Winner's Curse, if you had it here, this would be huge. But without it,
there
it
is.
It's so
bad. Their push is so bad actually.
It's only
so
BZZ.
Slow. Yeah, it's only BZZ hitting. And the Crystal Maiden is coming.
Oh, Stomp coming out, BKB though. Just make sure he can do things. Winner's Curse has been used, but it's not going to achieve anything here.
Oh.
You slow him down, but that's it.
Yeah, you lost only one side so far though. You have creeps and you might go for bottom, but in 15 seconds the Terrorblade is going to be alive too.
That's true. Terrorblade, the Lord and Savior. But
The
BCZ
Weaver with the
continues
heart.
to go to work. We see the heart a lot. Echo emerging. He's found a target. One's going to be forced off the way, though. Terrorize is going to come out to force away the reinforcement. RTW moving across. There's a route down. They're going to get the Venom Arts dead for 8 seconds. Buys back instantly Slayer. Tap down. Shockwave won't get him. The one keeps him alive. And now Gothic pretty deep. The stun's going to go out. Naive is on top of this. RTW, he can't die here. He's going to remnant away. Siren Chase, he needs to get out of the base right now. The Glimmers to protect, but they see him with the sentry. Poison Nova. Yule's going to buy a little bit more time. Immersion getting low as well. Can you move away? That's the question. The Fissure to lock down. Trying to control him. Remnant away, but the range is there. The Sun coming out full HP. Shiva's RTW, one more tap. He's going to start regenning up.
Stun.
Stun's good. The Dust Reveal, they'll get him. On the back foot, Venom taking a lot of damage, but BCZ has to move away. They're going to hold. And with a dead Ember for 120 seconds.
They can go Rush.
They can indeed.
I think Rush is their option round. You're still playing versus Weaver and Magnus and Shaker, so it's not really easy, but it's going to get even harder because the Weaver, he just found the DD.
The crucial element to doing Roche in a reasonable time in this day and age is, of course, the DD rune.
Yeah, Weaver found it on the opposite side, and if he decides to go here and mess with them while they're trying to do Roche, he can. But the problem is, can we check the buybacks, actually? Does the Weaver have the buyback, or did he use it that last fight? Alright, so the Weaver
He's
doesn't
just
have
shy.
it. He's just shy, 200 gold.
But also, I was
Ember
going to
has
say,
none, Shaker has none.
Magnus does, though, and he does have the RP as well.
Alright, but the thing is, you and Weaver, I don't think you have enough damage here to take them down. Unless they take a lot of damage from Roche, but which isn't gonna happen, so it's not easy for them to fight this Roche fight, considering they don't have...
They don't have the Shaker. Echo's on cooldown for about another 50.
And the buyback on Weaver. That last fight on the high ground with the Echo only on Wyvern, and actually a Wyvern that does not have an ultimate.
Oh, I love that. There's an apology coming out from Earthshaker followed by an it's okay from Naive. Look at these guys. This is very civilized for CIS. I expect to see them screaming blood. Right,
you have very bad opinion of us, Mr.
No. I just know I like to kill a lot. I've seen the Dota matches.
Shame on yourself.
Swarm moving in. It's going to actually speed this up for them. They need to go now. They haven't got Echo for another 15 seconds though.
This should be free Rush, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they expend the Terrorize to make sure that is the case.
Alright, so you gave the Aegis to... Was this the Refresher? No, this was the Cheese only. Okay, so you have Aegis and Cheese. Cheese... I would give this Cheese to Terrorblade, to be honest. I would give the Cheese and the Aegis to him. Just after he dies the first time, that's
been found. Not so tanky.
Just so after he dies the first time, he can use that Cheese and...
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you are wholly reliant on the Terrorblade right now. You might as well enable him to the full extent. But Espada, if they're quick, they could go for a cutoff. They're going to smoke up and they're on the Brawl.
So far, they were really quick with these pick-offs before pushing, and it looks like they're going to be again.
High ground belongs to the side. NoPangolier, though. The Stomp coming in. Stampede as well. The root in response. Weaver's pretty tanky, though. BKB needs to run away. There's Winner's Curse control up the Earthshaker just before he uses the Fissure. Now Misha, he's dancing his heart off, but Knife doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, that heart isn't really helping you, is it?
No, you need a little bit of armor alongside it.
Maybe buy an AC next.
You did force the buyback on the Dark Willow, though, and your Ember is alive again.
So they bought some time. And they used the meta as well, which is, I think, even bigger.
Yeah, and I like that they've done that because they forced the Metamorphosis on NoPangolier's side of the map, but more importantly, they make sure there's no chance a push begins before Ember's up.
He did have that Arcane Rune, so that meta is going to be up a bit sooner than a normal one. But still. I like the fact that the Magnus is also transitioning into a right-clicking core. He has the plus 20% as well in power damage cleave, which is going to make the Ember hit even harder.
Yeah.
And himself too, because he's building into that Bloodthorn, so he's going to have a crit for the next fight.
Well, that's the thing. I think the damage is more important than the control in the bot lane. Naive gets a Sunder out, though. Earthshaker's in a little bit of trouble. Needs to shake on out of here, but the reflection reveals the move forward. The taps come out, and now BCC's a little bit deep. The Stomp's going to be there. Terrorize follow up. He's dead. And he does not want to have to use that buyback, but he might have to here. They can push hard.
Honestly, they can. They can go. They don't have any towers on the bottom lane though, but they should go for the tier 1 and 2 at least. I mean,
I think they can go straight and force the buybacks.
They should force the buybacks, definitely. There's no buyback on the Shaker though.
That's
Real
the thing.
TV just porting top. Because the creeps on top are pushing really well for Dire, he might force them
back.
Yeah, he might be able to force them back, but you're doing that versus Terrorblade. He doesn't really care.
He'll always push quicker.
Yeah, he will always push quicker, but luckily for Espada, they still have a tier 2 on mid. And because of that, it's going to be a bit hard to take all 3 sides from one go.
Even 2, because of course you have to run straight through and couldn't kill the buildings.
It's possible, but it's not really easy. They might opt to go for the... Oh,
Ember from behind, dodges out the stop, moves back into his base. Yeah, so much mobility with that Remnant talent. Naiv's just going to go to work on the buildings, though. He knows what his priority is here.
yeah, he has to be careful, though. They can take him down so easily if he's around his illusions because of the cleave damage.
It's not just that. If they skewer him deep into the base,
Yeah,
his team can't back him up
he
in
can
time.
die twice, definitely.
Not 4 staff. He's gone pretty deep here.
He wants to Sunder, I suppose.
Yeah, he does, but they are making sure to stay at the appropriate range. LTW is going to go for the Slight Fist again. It's almost there. Remnant's in, he thinks about it, but the Stampede's been used. They'll get the tower, and they will back away here, as Earthshaker's up in 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. They didn't really get a lot. They did get the tier 3, but they have to go back because of the base. Their top lane is basically falling to creeps.
And LTW, who's
He
here.
ported now, yeah.
Yeah. He needs to be careful, actually. This is pretty greedy. He'll move away just in time. Link was popped with the Winner's Curse. But I think the thing I was going to say is, I think there was a big mistake coming out from Naive there. Because if Naive had stationed himself on the right side of the tower, you can't push him that far away from his team. It's not as easy to separate him.
Yeah, basically the reasoning for that is he's trying to zone them out a little bit to try and hit them as well. Perhaps create a setup on that Magnus so that he cannot go in skewer or RP. But at the same time, because of that positioning on the left side, he's also susceptible to being poked and prodded by Espada's players.
As we just saw. And he still has the Aegis on him for a little bit longer.
He does. He has Refresher now as well. So with that Refresher, he's going to be able to use 2 BKBs, 2 metas in a fight. And there's another DD. They're really lucky.
Conveniently.
Conveniently, every time they're
They're
around.
going to pick it up. Naive is here. Serum Chain's going to come out. They're thinking about it. They're looking on the back foot. RP coming out. They find the Venomancer. The BKB on Nyx. Just trying to go to work. He wants to kill the Venomancer in time. The Fissure lockdown is good, but the Cold Embrace is there. He's going to keep him alive, and he might be able to get the Poison over off. They can't stack on his Naive. There's Echo comes out. The control's good to get him.
They got him.
Naive, they need to escape. Nyx with a skewer away, but he's dead. LTW needs to get out, or this is not worthwhile. On the back foot, Ghostic getting low, but BCZ can't finish the job. Naive. They've started this again. The Serum Chain's control. Slayer's going to use Cold Embrace. Immersion got greedy. He's going to pay a price. Here's Shadow Blade coming out. The Sentry sees him. Yules. He needs to get away on the back foot. Zart's going to go down. And they're going for a party. Misha with the Freezer Field again. They get rid of Ghostic.
He has no Aegis.
Yeah, and he has no backup now. He needs to be very, very careful about how he approaches this. When his curse coming out, decent amount of damage done, but CEM is so damn tanky. He's controlled up. Misha should fall. BCZ needs to be careful. The Sansa's going to be there. Have you got enough damage, though? He needs the assist to LTW, but he's hesitant to go in. And BCZ, he's going to die.
Ultra kill.
That's huge. Naive slowly making his way towards a rampage, but this was a huge mistake actually coming out from the side of Espada. They could have killed him, but Ember was reluctant to commit.
They are doing one mistake after another. They definitely could have killed him because he used the Manta to get rid of Frostbite, and then he was Orchided. So they knew for 100% that he has no Sunder.
And that's the thing. That is your moment to go. You have buybacks. You can't be reluctant like this. When a game is this close, you fail to make a move like that, you could cost your team the game.
Yeah, the problem is now they're also very worried about doing buybacks, because if you do, and you don't manage to kill anyone, and they buyback, you can just lose the game right there. You're still playing versus the Terrorblade. But you know what? In the end, at least you have a heart on Crystal Maiden.
Told you. The way to go. Bought that crucial 2-3 seconds extra of Naive attacking him. So important.
I mean, he didn't die in that Winter's Curse.
I think the most important moment was, I mean, I said already about the Ember moment, but also the fact that Immersion went on his own. If they didn't lose the Earthshaker, Naive definitely dies there because they've got the stun lockdown.
Yeah, the Earthshaker is having problems finding his positioning in these team fights, but he has some really crucial fissures as well, like some really good plays, but at the same time, sometimes he finds himself out of position, dying to the Terrorblade without actual, like, he doesn't
without
have
reason.
to.
There's
Yeah,
not anything.
reason,
Like, he won that kill on the Slayer, but the Winner's Curse was already used. I think right now, looking at it, if he gets nags, great, but he needs to save for buyback at all times.
Yeah, Diagonums would be actually so good for him, because that would give him just enough mobility to stay away from the Terrorblade to actually stay alive. And opting to go for that Shadow Blade instead of the Aghanim's is kind of questionable too. Aghanim's would be so good. There's a reason why everyone is buying Aghanim's on Shaker right now.
Especially when you have a Weaver on your team, so you know they're already going to have detection for that.
I mean, one of the reasons why Shaker is so strong right now is that Aghanim's. It's just
it's fun and powerful. The best combination for a game of Dota.
especially when you get talents and you get lower CD on the totem, you can always just jump around 24/7.
Yeah.
By the way, that whole fight went the way it did because of Centaur ultimate with Diagonals. The Venomancer just survived for such a long period of time. And this hero, who does not do anything in these fights, almost anything, forced them to attack him for such a long time that they could set up the fight the way they wanted to. Immersion.
They see Immersion, they're going to move, and the Stomp's going to be there. He's a little bit too deep. He has got the Yules, but it won't matter. He's hexed up, and he's dead.
Oh, the Terrorize!
They found the Ember as well. Stampede moving forward. They want this kill. Not get it. The big crits. RTW's down. Double kill for Naive. And Misha in the pitch, shooting the freezer field. He's buying time because BCC on the split push. The glyph's going to come out, and Misha will fall. They need to get back to base, though. This Weaver isn't leaving.
Do they, though? Terribly is going to continue pushing mid, it seems. He's going to force them to buy back. Or perhaps Roche, if it's up. No, I don't think it's up.
I think the problem I'm seeing here, though, is NoPangolier.
That's what he wants.
I was about to say, NoPangolier, they're stronger in these head-on engagements, but Espada, every time the creep waves are pushing, sometimes there's heroes there. There's only so long you can do this without taking Espada's base before NoPangolier has nothing left of their own.
I mean, I don't think Espada are in control of this game at all anymore.
Oh no, definitely, but the way they're playing is forcing NoPangolier to always go back to the base. They can't fully capitalize on where they do.
One side is always pushed, either by the Weaver or by the Ember. And that's definitely a good thing for Espada.
DD's going to run out soon.
He
he
has
doesn't have
Refresher as well now, and 5k gold, so he has buyback and Refresher. He's basically 7 slotted. He needs a Moon Shard and another slot that he's going to be...
He'll be pretty kosher at that point. Yeah. By the time Refresher gets here, though, Earthshaker will be up, so I'm not even sure if they stay and push. They're pinging already. They say just get rid of Shrines, wait for Roche. I think it's the right call here. You can't risk it against the Shaker. I think it's the kind of that element we always said about the Skewer as well. You just push him so far away, it doesn't matter what he does.
This is where they are right now, and the fact that they took that one tier 3 so they can take down this Shrine is very important. They can control this high ground around the Roche. If they decide to go for Roche, then maybe just let Naive take it on his own, as he's definitely strong enough, while everyone else is around zoning out with the snakes and creating this buffer zone and enough vision so that they cannot initiate immersion. This is very dangerous. But they don't have sentries. Why don't they have sentries? Because
they have a gem on Zayats. He's just out of range though.
Oh, they see
him. Needs to be careful. He's going to get rooted up. Yule's going to come out. Ghostic doesn't want to make the jump though. Slayer's pretty far forward. Needs to be careful himself. The Roche is almost done. They need to do something soon. Wyvern's going to get low. Force stuff up to the high ground. Remnant through, but rooted up. He can't go in quick enough. Cold Embrace. The freeze field's going to be there. The move across. Looking for the kill on Wyvern. He's still so tanky. He'll finally go down. Terrorize going to only connect onto one. The buyback's going on. The RP. It's big. The silence as well. Terrorblade. He can't do anything. The Lullaby. The Echo Slam. They're locking him down. Trying to move away, but he should go down to BKB. Sundown. He gets it out. Nix. He's running with the high heels, but it may be too late. The rest of his team is in peril. BZZ trying to attack in the Ghostic. He's so damn tanky. On the back foot, RTW, what are you doing? Just dancing around, not achieving much right now. Refresher used by Naive. He wants to go work with the Metamorphosis again. And that's important because the Aegis is on Veno, not Terrorblade, so he had to survive that. And Misha's going to back away.
Good that he survived.
RTW creating a lot of space, need to be careful. Sealer getting low, but RTW using up, needs to get out of it. He's got remnants to work with because of that talent. He's rooted. He can't get out. They'll get him. They eat the cheers to celebrate.
He swaps the HP again with the Winter Wyvern to heal up, and he's ready to party.
This is
the only problem is creeps are taking your tier 3.
Yeah, they are knocking on your door. Yeah. He just refreshed again. Refresher shard, but you need to actually go deal with the Ancient. And they realize this. Someone's going to have to go back, which is going to put him at a disadvantage because Ember does have buyback.
Yeah, maybe that's for the best, because if you push high ground right now and Ember buybacks, you can find yourself in a lot of problems.
Oh, BZZ, this is the right move. He knows someone's going back. Slayer, braced up, Terrorize, holds on to it, realizes it won't connect. There we go to work, trying to kill off the Wyvern. Full stuff come out. There's the Hex though. They've got good control on the BCZ. Can't kill him on quick enough. Stampede's going to come through. He doesn't get it. He cannot use the time lapse. The Merch is pretty deep here. Trying to stun up with Ghostic, but he's going to be stunned himself. He needs to back away. Misha, he has to freeze the build, doesn't want to commit to it here. There it is. Finally goes down. Immersion. He won't get the fissure out. And now the move across. Yules is going to be there, and CM's a little bit too far out. Full staff down. Needs to move away. Running out of mana. Running out of life now. Ghost Ground will stun up. Weaver did just buy back, but that was a long wait before he finally committed to it. And that's just to stop the push on the bot lane.
Yeah, he's basically what he's doing right now. He bought back to outpush bottom because he knows they're coming, and perhaps if he takes this creep wave, away, they won't have the creeps. But mid is pushing in, and that makes no sense. He has to go back. They will have to invest more. This Shaker at least is going to have to buy back. And there we go.
He does have the Echo Slam. He's the big boy here. They still have the Aegis sitting on the Venom though. Not enough ult for his poison over yet.
I don't think they care about the Venom, just kill Naive. He's gonna buy back and come back into the fight for 100% though. So you have to kill him twice somehow.
Oh, Echo on the back foot. Gorsic's the target. BKB coming up next, but no, the cold embrace again! They can't find it. BC in the base. Forced to use time that's prematurely. He needs to move away. There's Immersion. Slow down, using up. There's Terrorize coming out, looking on the target. They'll be able to find Magnus is down, and so is Ember. The big kills. The buybacks easily coming out. They need a hold. TB out by Earthshaker right under the nose, though. He's still alive, but the Echo's on cooldown. They've got the RP. They need a big one here. And I'm not sure LTW has the damage to deliver with the skewer into the RP. He's going to try and cleave through this. Naive down to half HP. 4 staff down the low ground. These 4 staffs have been doing work.
These 4 staff are saving him so many times in a row now.
All right, Naive going to work again. He hits incredibly hard. Fissure blocks off his team from helping him, though. Nullifier sounds coming out, but there's the lowest. The BKB, BZZ. That's a dieback. He can't get back involved. LTW is going to move away. Naive's BKB runs out, but now he's hitting builds. RP, there it is, the big one. The 4 staff away to stop the cleave damage coming. The cold embrace to the Gothic. The 4 staff and Terrorblade away. They want to tap him out here, but no, he can't get the Sunder out. Buyback comes out. LTW going even deeper and then further away. He doesn't know what to go for next. Sealer, can they get rid of him quick enough twice? Gothic with Stomp coming in. Decent damage going out. Naive, he's back to party. Stampede coming forward, and Nyx is going to fall. They move forward looking for more. They should be able to find it. They're going to control up onto the Ember Spirit. They've got him ruined on the spot. He's going to hit too much damage. He's dead. And Earthshaker, he's going to cover the escape. They are living. They're not down. Sealer, low on HP, is going to heal up. The Spirit Vessel goes forward. Sees the opportunity on Immersion. He's going to pop the Aegis now. Immersion's far out of space. He can't move away. They're going to charge forward and finish him off. He's run out of HP, run out of time. The Searing Chains don't protect an LTW. You're the last man standing. What can you do? Misha, this is the big move. Freezerville on the back foot maybe, but you just lost your Ember. Now you're all alone. CM versus 5. What's the move? Freezerville comes in. Gothic's in the fall. But Zayat's just using up with Blink away. They go for the throne, and Misha is helpless. GG comes out. And Espada, after asserting so much dominance through that mid game, they just get overwhelmed by the power of Terrorblade.
They got overwhelmed by something else, not only the Terrorblade. They got overwhelmed by their own egos, I think, honestly. That's what happened. They thought they had that one. It was in the bag, honestly, it was. They just had to wrap it up. But, like...
Well, you know, wrapping things up is difficult. You know, I was terrible at wrapping presents. My mum always had to do it for me. Maybe they need to get someone to do it for them, because it looked all but assured. They were doing fantastically there. They were using their ults perfectly. They were wiping the side of NoPangolier regularly.
They had no problems. They had no issues whatsoever. They could have itemized properly to catch that Terrorblade. They could have itemized for a Hex on their supports. They could have itemized for an Eggs on Shaker. They could have itemized without so many Linkenses on. But they didn't. They didn't want to. And because of that, they paid the ultimate price. And they are out 2-0 instead of having a clean 1-1 into a best of 3, into a full best of 3. I think that was basically on Espada there. I don't like. Yeah, they had issues pushing high ground. That's definitely true. But still, if they itemized properly and if they weren't messing around their base for such a long period of time, they could have taken this game for sure. But you know what? You get punished, especially when you're cocky, the way they were.
No, I agree. It felt like it was wrapped up. NoPangolier fantastically done to hold, but in fairness, there was mistakes coming out from both teams. Quite often, for example, Wyvern would get caught out of place, would die. Terrorblade was playing out of his mind. He was doing fantastically, but the elements around him were being caught out. But like you said, Espada, they apparently don't know how to finish.
Or they don't wanna.
I imagine that each of these players are in 10+ year relationships they don't want to be in, because they clearly do not know how to finish.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain they could have if they wanted to, but instead they played with their food and yeah.
And Mama and Dada took it away, and as a result, NoPangolier go through. Espada are out. There's no second chances here. They already had a second chance in the best of ones.
That's it. We say goodbye to Espada, actually.
We do indeed.
It's an interesting game, honestly. Like, all right.
I mean, what can
you know what?
you say?
You know why they actually lost? The Crystal Maiden, she had a heart. And she felt like, listen, guys, last tournament that we played, we won. This tournament, I have a heart. I'm going to let you guys prove yourself as well on the big stage. After all, we're the Grand Espada. We're going to let you through, you know. That's what happened. Right?
I disagree. I think the heart was great. Like, in fairness,
Of
the heart
course.
would have been great
Her
if you
heart
didn't have so many tanky heroes.
Her
where-
heart was great. That's my point.
Yeah.
It was
She was pumping blood. The problem was all that blood couldn't keep it in that tiny body. It spilled all over the place and he died. And as a result, we have one game decided, but we've got 2 best-of-3s ahead of us. We're going to go to a short break, but after that, we'll be back with more Dota action. You don't want to miss it.